It's pretty wild to think about, but what if the cure for our modern, screen obsessed anxiety isn't some new app, but a super old way of telling stories?
I mean, does this sound familiar to you? That feeling you're just lost in this endless sea of updates, news, notifications, just scrolling and scrolling with no real end in sight? We've all been there, right? It's kind of the default setting in our crazy, hyper-connected world. So, here's where it gets really interesting. Let's think of this as a tale of two scrolls. You've got the one we all know, the modern scroll. It's infinite, right? It's built to make you react, and it's all run by these wild algorithms. But then there's this other idea, this ancient scroll, and it's the complete opposite. It's finite, it's intentional, and it actually has a rhythm to it. All right, so first up, let's dive into the thing we know all too well, the anxious modern scroll. I mean, this is basically the digital world we live in every single day. And if you really look at how these things are designed, it's pretty obvious what they're for. They are literally built for endless engagement, like a bottomless bowl of snacks you can't stop eating. They're designed to make you react, like, share, comment, not to sit back and actually reflect. And the big one, there's no finish line. There's no sense of, okay, I'm done. And that right there is why we end up feeling so completely overloaded. It's so easy to just assume that this is it. This is how it has to be. But what if it's not? What if there's a totally different way to experience stories? Something a little more, I don't know, human?
And that is where this whole idea of the soothing scroll comes in. It's the big idea we're digging into today. You can almost think of it like this forgotten piece of wisdom, this ancient art of storytelling that maybe, just maybe, we really need to bring back. Okay, so what is it exactly? Well, if we look back at old historical texts, the soothing scroll is basically a long story, but with a really distinct rhythm. It's something that unspools slowly, deliberately. We're not talking about speed here. This is all about pace and, just getting totally immersed. So, that first piece of the puzzle is rhythm. It's this idea that the power of a story isn't just what it says, but how it flows. And this whole idea of rhythm, it comes from way back, from oral traditions. Just picture it, epic poems being told around a campfire. They use things like repetition and meter, not just to help people remember the story, but to create this incredible, hypnotic, shared experience. And here's the key difference, right? These stories had structure. They had a real beginning, a middle, and a satisfying end. They actually finished. All right, now for the second part, which is just as important, the actual physical act of unspooling a scroll. The medium itself, the thing you held in your hands, completely shapes the experience. Seriously, try to imagine holding one of these ancient scrolls. You couldn't just jump around or skim it like a web page. The physical object itself forced you into this linear, deliberate journey. You kind of had to engage with it the way the author wanted you to. And the process is so cool when you think about it. You'd unroll just the next little section, you'd read it, take it in, and then the actual motion of re-rolling one side while unrolling the other, that creates this built-in natural pause, a moment to reflect. Every single move forward was an intentional choice. I mean, talk about the complete opposite of that mindless, automatic thumb flick we all do. Okay, so this is all really fascinating history. I get it. But you're probably wondering, why does any of this matter to me right now as I'm holding my phone? Good question. Let's connect those dots. This chart really puts it all side by side perfectly. Look at the goal, right? For the modern scroll, it's just constant engagement, keep you hooked. But for the soothing scroll, the goal is deep immersion. And the pacing? Our modern scroll is all algorithmic and totally erratic. The ancient one is deliberate and rhythmic. And the outcome? Well, that's the big one. One leads to distraction, the other leads to real contemplation. Let's be real. We're living in an age that's pretty much defined by information overload. It's just the constant background noise of our lives. But maybe, just maybe, what we're all secretly craving is a return to narrative immersion. The chance to get completely lost in one story, instead of just skimming across the headlines of 1,000. And here's the real takeaway. The main point is this. The fight isn't really against technology itself. It's a battle of mindset. We actually have the power to choose intention over the siren call of infinity. We can actively look for experiences that are finite, that have a rhythm, and that feel deliberate. So that leaves us with one last, really important question to chew on. how can we take this ancient wisdom and actually apply it today? How can we build, or maybe just find, our very own soothing scrolls in the middle of our digital world? Now, that is something we're thinking about.